Now, while I find this system extremely helpful, and I've been using it for several years, there are a few limitations that you should be aware of. First of all, what I've described here relies on conventions. Okay, so you can't, suppose you were able to change a color of one of these items here. Okay, this wouldn't retroactively affect all of your previous applications of this tag. Actually, OS X and Skim don't really have a notion of tag. We're just superimposing this notion onto the existing software. Another problem is that these abbreviations that we've defined, again, they're only part of our system. Say if you were to change this particular abbreviation, say you wanted to call reference citation instead, right? So here we are, we've made this change, but this change won't propagate back to affect every application of reference, right? So this item here, for instance, would not be updated. This would only affect future applications of the tag. So when you look back at previous documents, you might not recall what the abbreviation was that you used. Another limitation of this system has to do with how Skim stores its notes. It turns out that Skim stores its notes in the extended file attributes of PDF files. So what this means is that if you were to open this file in another PDF reader such as Preview, you wouldn't actually be able to see your annotations. Here's the proof. I've opened this file, or a copy of it, in Preview, and I'm looking at the highlights and notes section here, and I can't actually see my highlights. Now this has two implications that are quite significant. One is that if you'd like to read this document on another device using iCloud sharing, for instance, you won't see your highlights. And also, if you want to share this document with somebody else so that they can review it, including your highlights, then they won't be able to see your highlights. But there's a couple of ways you can work around this problem. One of them is that the Skim offers a PDF bundle format. So what you can do if you want to share this document with somebody else or read it on another iOS or on another device of yours outside iOS, because Skim is not available on iOS, what you can do is save the file as a PDF bundle. So notice there's a PDF bundle option down here. When you do that, the file basically contains the annotations in format that somebody else who's using Skim can read. So you can share it then through Dropbox or email or other mechanisms. Now, what if you really want to read this PDF file in, say, Preview? Okay, well, there is a way. What you can do is take this file, which is find it on the Finder, and use the Terminal app, which is available under Applications Utilities, and change directories to this folder, that is. Okay. Now you can do a listing to see all of your files, and the one that we're actually dealing with here is this one. You can use the command skim embed with the file name as an argument, and then run that command, and then let's have a look at the results. The file is stored here, and I will open it with Preview down here and move it to the screen, and here we go. Now we can see that some of our annotations have been preserved. Now what's going on? Well, this doesn't always work, and I've chosen to show you an example where it doesn't work because I think that's important. On smaller files I found this to be successful, but on this file it actually choked. So you need to be aware that this kind of issue can happen.